going on, boys and girls? Well, Tennessee's done it again. Uh, they've advanced to the College World Series in Omaha for the third time in 4 years. Now, if you follow the trajectory of this program, the first year they made it, 4 years ago, they were two in a barbecue, as they like to say. In other words, 2 games and they were done. They missed the next year. Last year, they made it back to Omaha, and they won 1 game. So, by natural order of things, that should tell you that this year we should win 2 games, which for me, if this team doesn't win the national championship, I would almost think the players would look at it as a failed season. All kinds of records broken this year offensively. 170, I don't know how many home runs they've got this year. 173 maybe, something like that. They said a stat tonight that blew my mind. Since the SEC tournament ended, in the regional and the super regional, they've hit 26 home runs. Is that true? I mean, they hit 7 tonight, so it makes good sense. Christian Moore came out of his 1-game slump and had 2 dingers tonight. Blake Burke, 3 doubles, a run scored, an RBI. And Tony Vitello just keeps pushing all the right buttons. He puts Bargo in as our DH in the 8-hole tonight, and what's he do? He hits back-to-back home runs. I mean, everybody was knocking him out of the park tonight. Cal Stark had another one. Billy Amick had one. I think that covered them all because there was Christian Moore had 2. Bargo had 2. Curley had 1, so that's 5 right there. Yeah, that's right. And then Cal Stark and, who'd I say? Billy Amick, that gives you a total of 7 for a 12-1 thrashing of the Purple Aces. Now, I had a special disdain for Evansville in this series based on what my son told me happened after Evansville beat ECU in the Greenville Regional over there in Greenville, North Carolina. So apparently, after Evansville dogpiled, they then proceeded to taunt the ECU team and the ECU dugout. Classless, no room for that. And that's a veteran team, Evansville. They had no business even being in Knoxville to start with, let alone to win a game. They almost blew it yesterday, too, but they didn't. They held on for the win. But Tennessee just came out today and said, look, no more funky stuff. We're taking care of business. This is ridiculous. We should have never lost to you chumps to start with. So we're going to smack you around and give you a little dose on your way back out the door and on the bus back for the 6-hour ride to Evansville, which is what it is, a 6-hour bus ride. Good crowd showing for Evansville. And didn't you just feel sorry for them as Tennessee fans tonight? Seeing them sit up there with their hands on their faces all night. I think they thought they were actually going to win this series. And it wouldn't have surprised me, honestly, it wouldn't. Because this is the time of year where Tennessee usually falls apart, no matter the sport. Just look no further than the softball team to see what I'm talking about. Or the basketball team to see what I'm talking about. Or the baseball team the last couple of years to see what I'm talking about. Or the football team 2 years ago to see what I'm talking about. It's been dubbed the Tennessee way. So at some point, we've got to get over the Tennessee way and break through and win a damn national championship at something. So we can get all the trolls like Uncle Lou off our ass, even though I know he could give 2 shits about baseball. Even with Georgia having a chance to make it, if they win tomorrow, they're in Omaha. but he don't care about baseball. But if Tennessee loses, that's when the Uncle Lou that we all love to hate comes out, so to speak. But we'll see. Maybe they can get it done and keep the trolls at bay. Finally. We've got the hitting. The question is, do we have the pitching? Our day one starter, Stamos, is a little bit shaky to me. He's been getting touched up here lately. He's only been good for an inning or two. And then they bring in, I forgot his name. The other guy that comes in, he's basically an extension of our Friday night starter. And he usually pitches pretty well. So we should have the pitching and the hitting to get it done. But look, Florida is a team on fire right now. A team that many thought wouldn't even make the tournament this year, the postseason tournament, let alone the World Series. 13 wins in the SEC. They were like one game, I think, above 500. But they're in it, and all you got to do is get in it. And this team is on fire. They knocked off Clemson. Yet again, Clemson falls apart in their own super regional. And I think it was 13 innings. Florida wins 11-10 when it looked like Clemson was going to win that and push it to a game 3. But nope. So far you've got Tennessee, Florida out of the SEC. Florida State, North Carolina, Virginia out of the ACC. And you've got Oregon State and Kentucky playing right now 2-2 in the top of the 6th. It's looking like Texas A&M is going to win their super regional and advance to the World Series. If Kentucky advances and Georgia advances, you could see 5 SEC teams in the College World Series. So that would basically be just like kind of another SEC tournament. We'll see what happens. I'll see you Tuesday night for Tuesday Night Live. We'll talk more about this, I'm sure. Maybe we'll talk about Georgia if they make it. Maybe we'll talk about Kentucky if they make it. Looks like, nope, just short at the warning track. Could have 5 SEC teams if you're an SEC homer. If you're into that type of stuff, the homerism. We'll see. Go Vols, screw y'all, hug your mom and daddy, love you, mean it. The power of the T is taking over Omaha for a third out of 4 years.